Welcome to week 2 of my realistic Security Plus practice exam walkthrough. In this video, I'm going to go over practice questions similar to the ones you'll see on the actual Security Plus exam. Now, I don't want to waste any time, so I'm going to go ahead and jump right into the questions, but this time I kind of want to challenge you guys. During each question, after I read it out loud, go ahead and pause it, see if you can figure it out yourself. Anyways, enough talking, let's go ahead and jump right into it. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and jump into it. And right before I start, I just want to quickly say that in no way am I sponsored with CompTIA or anything like that. I'm not sponsored, endorsed, or affiliated with them in any way. So this is just for educational purposes only and to try and help everybody out. So let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, so for question 1, a company has implemented a secure remote access solution for its employees. The system uses a combination of username and password authentication and a two-factor authentication mechanism. The 2FA method involves the receiving a one-time code on the employee's mobile device, which they must enter along with their credentials. One day, an employee reports that they are unable to log in despite entering the correct username, password, and one-time code. The security team investigates and finds that the employee's account is locked due to multiple failed login attempts. Which of the following would be the best reason why the account is locked out? We have A, the employee's mobile device is not connected to the internet. B, the employee's account has been compromised. C, the two-factor authentication server is temporarily unavailable. Or D, the employee has forgotten their password. So let's take a look here. Right away, I'm going to go ahead and rule out A and C. These are two scenarios that wouldn't cause an account lockout. Let's take a look here. So that's what the question's asking. Out of all of these, what would cause the account lockout, essentially? With that said, it wouldn't be D because a single incorrect password attempt wouldn't lock the account out. So I'm going to go with B as the answer. The account being compromised would be the best reason why the account is locked out of these options. So B. Yep, perfect. In this scenario, the most likely reason for the account lockout is that the employee's credentials, including the one-time code from the 2FA mechanism, have been compromised. The multiple failed login attempts indicate that an unauthorized user is attempting to gain access to the account, locking the account in a security measure to prevent further unauthorized access. All right. Question 2. A company is implementing a secure wireless network for its office. The network will be used by employees to connect to their devices, such as laptops and smartphones. The company wants to ensure that the wireless network is protected against unauthorized access and eavesdropping. Which of the following security measures is most effective in securing the company's wireless network? We have A, enabling MAC address filtering. B, implementing wired equivalent privacy encryption. C, using Wi-Fi protected access 3 encryption, or D, broadcasting to SSID. Okay, so which of the following security measures is most effective in securing the company's wireless network out of all 4 of these options? I'm going to go ahead and rule out B and D. B for wired equivalent privacy, a very old and unsecure protocol. And D, broadcasting the SSID would not help with security at all. I'm also going to rule out A. MAC address filtering adds security, but it can be easily spoofed. So all of these options, C is going to be the best option here. Yep, WPA3 is the most secure protocol out of all the options. Let's take a look here. Yep. All right, WPA3 is the latest and most secure Wi-Fi encryption protocol. It provides stronger security compared to its predecessors, WPA and WPA2. WPA3 uses stronger encryption algorithms and provides better protection against various attacks, including brute force attacks. It enhances the confidentiality and integrity of the wireless communication. Question 3. An organization is concerned about the security of its sensitive data stored on employees' laptops. To mitigate the risk of unauthorized access in case of device loss or theft, the organization decides to implement full disk encryption on all laptops. Which of the following benefits does full disk encryption provide in this scenario? A. Protecting data during transmission over the network. B. Securing data at rest on the laptop storage. C. Preventing malware infections on the laptop. Or D. Enforcing access controls for user authentication. Going back to the question, which of the following benefits does FDE provide in this scenario? Let's take a look here. Right away, I can rule out A and D. Data during transit doesn't have anything to do with data stored on the device. And C has nothing to do with this scenario at all. With that said, for full disk encryption, also known as FDE, the best option here is going to be securing data at rest on the laptop storage. Yep. Full disk encryption ensures that all data stored on the laptop's storage is encrypted. This means that even if the laptop is lost or stolen, the data remains unreadable without the appropriate decryption key. It provides a crucial layer of protection for data at rest. Question 4. An organization is implementing access controls to restrict user permissions based on their roles with the company. The goal is to enforce the principle of least privilege and minimize the risk of unauthorized access to sensitive information. Which of the following access control models is designed to assign permissions based on job responsibilities and individual roles within the organization? We have A, mandatory access control. B, discretionary access control. C, role-based access control. Or D, rule-based access control. All right, so if you know what the 4 are, this is a pretty easy one. So let's go ahead and go down it here. Mandatory access control is based on security levels, like with the military, such as things like secret, top secret, etc. So it's not going to be that one. We have discretionary access control, which allows members to control access to their own resources. That's not going to be based on the job. So not that one. We have rule-based access control, and that's just based on specific rules, which could be technically different for everybody. So that's not going to be the best option. Out of these 4 options, the best one's going to be role-based. It's the access control that is designed to assign permissions based on job responsibilities. So I'm going to go with C on this one. Yep. RBAC is designed to assign permissions based on job responsibilities and individual roles within an organization. Users are assigned roles, and each role has specific permissions associated with it. This approach simplifies access management and helps enforce the principle of least privilege. I also want to point out here that the acronym RBAC also refers to role-based access control and rule-based access control in a lot of different ways, so just be aware of that. All right. Question 5. An organization is concerned about the security of its internal network, wants to implement a security measure to monitor and analyze network traffic. The goal is to detect and respond to suspicious or malicious activities within the network. Which of the following security tools is commonly used for real-time network traffic analysis and intrusion detection, but also allows for the opportunity to respond? We have A, antivirus software. B, firewall. C, network intrusion prevention system. Or D, virtual private network. All right. I think the key thing in this question is the opportunity to respond. That's the key here. So with that said, off the bat, ruling out A and D. Antivirus software is designed to detect malicious software, and a VPN is a form of secure communication. So it's not those. That leaves us with B or C. Now, firewall is great at controlling and filtering internal and external network traffic, but it does this based on predefined rules, so it's not going to be that one. I'm going to go with network intrusion prevention system, also known as NIPS. So that's what I'm going with C. Yep. A network intrusion prevention system is designed to monitor and analyze network traffic in real time. It looks for patterns and signatures indicative of known attacks or abnormal behavior within the network. NIPS helps detect and respond to potential security threats. Question 6. A company is implementing network segmentation as part of its cybersecurity strategy to enhance the overall security posture. The goal is to isolate different segments of the network to prevent lateral movement in case of a security breach. Which of the following is a primary benefit of network segmentation? You have A, simplifying network configuration, B, reducing the impact of a security breach, C, increasing network bandwidth, or D, minimizing the need for firewalls. All right, right away, ruling out A. With that, you could technically argue that network segmentation could make the infrastructure harder to understand. And the primary goal is to help secure the network, not simplify it. So A's out. Definitely not C. This wouldn't help with bandwidth. Could actually increase the bandwidth. And it's not D. Network segmentation would still require a firewall to filter incoming and outgoing traffic. So definitely going with B on this one, reducing the impact of a security breach. Yep. Network segmentation involves dividing a network into smaller, isolated segments. This limits the lateral movement of attackers within the network. In the event of a security breach in one segment, the impact is contained, and the attacker's ability to move to other segments is restricted. This isolation enhances overall security. Question 7. An organization is planning to implement a secure file transfer mechanism to protect sensitive data during transmission. The security team is evaluating different protocols for encrypting file transfers. Which of the following protocols is commonly used for secure file transfer, providing encryption and authentication during data transmission? We have A, file transfer protocol, B, telnet, C, simple network management protocol, or D, secure copy protocol. All right, so for these here, this question, it's really important to know what each protocol is in order to answer this one correctly. And in the question, it specifically asks which is the secure file transfer protocol. With that said, I can eliminate FTP and Telnet. They are not secured by today's standards at all. And simple network management protocol is a networking protocol, not a file transfer protocol. So that leaves me with SCP, secure copy protocol. Yep. SCP is a secure file transfer protocol that uses secure shell, also known as SSH, for encryption and authentication. It ensures that files are transferred securely over a network by providing encryption for the data in transit and authentication to verify the identity of the parties involved in the transfer. Question 8. An organization is concerned about the security of its wireless network and wants to implement a mechanism to authenticate and authorize devices before allowing them to connect. The goal is to prevent unauthorized access to the network. Which of the following methods is commonly used for device authentication and authorization in a wireless network? We have A, WPA, B, MAC address filtering, C, VPN, or D, IPsec. All right, so let's take a look here. Let's look at the question again, and that is which of the following methods is commonly used for device authentication and authorization in a wireless network? And out of all of these possible answers, there's only one of them that addresses authentication and authorization on the device at the device level, and that's going to be MAC address. The other three options do not do device authentication or authorization. So I'm going with B, MAC address. Yep. MAC address filtering is a method used for device authentication in a wireless network. With MAC address filtering, the organization can specify which devices are allowed to connect to the network based on their unique MAC addresses. This adds an additional layer of security by controlling access to the network at the device level. Question 9. Company is implementing a virtual private network to allow remote employees to securely access the corporate network. The security team is evaluating different VPN authentication methods to ensure secure and authenticated connections. Which of the following VPN authentication methods provide the highest level of security for remote access? We have A, PPTP with username or password. B, LTTP/IPsec. C, SSL/TLS certificates. Or D, IKE v1 with pre-shared keys. Oh gosh. The different VPN protocols used to confuse me so much. They're all similar kind of. So I struggled a lot with this. So out of all of these, we need to choose the VPN authentication method that provides the highest level of security for remote access. And that's the key to the question there, right, in the scenario. Highest level of security for remote access. So out of the four, I would say it comes down to IPsec or SSL/TLS. Could get this one wrong. I'm going to go with SSL/TLS since that does require certificates. So that's what I'm going to go with here. Like I said, I could get it wrong. We'll see. Yep. SSL/TLS certificates provide strong authentication and encryption for VPN connections. The use of certificates ensure that both the server and the client are verified, adding a high level of security to the VPN authentication process. SSL/TLS certificates are commonly used for securing remote access VPNs. All right, question 10, halfway there. An organization is implementing a wireless network to support both company-owned devices and personal devices brought in by employees. The security team is concerned about unauthorized access and wants to implement a strong authentication method for both types of devices. Which of the following authentication methods is recommended for securing wireless networks and providing a balance between security and user convenience? We have A, WPA2 with a strong passphrase. B, MAC address filtering. C, 802.1x/EAP with radius. D, open system authentication with a captive portal. The key to getting the right answer in this question, which of the following authentication methods? And it looks like to me, when it comes to a security standpoint, which one's the most secure but has authentication? The only real option would be C, and that's going to be with radius there. So I'm going with C. Yep. 802.1x/EAP with radius is a robust authentication method for securing wireless networks. It allows for individual user authentication, ensuring that only authorized users with valid credentials can access the network. This method is particularly effective in environments with both company-owned and personal devices, providing a balance between security and user convenience. Users can log in with their unique credentials, and Radius serves as a central authentication server. Perfect. Question 11. A company is implementing a secure remote access solution for its employees to connect to the corporate network from external locations. The security team wants to ensure that their remote access method provides strong encryption and authentication. Which of the following remote access protocols is commonly used for secure and encrypted connections to corporate networks? We have A, Telnet, B, SSH, C, RDP, or D, SNMP. right away, ruling out Telnet and SNMP. Telnet's not secure at all, and SNMP wouldn't satisfy this scenario. So that leaves us between RDP and SSH, which are both used in this scenario. So between these two, though, I'm going to go with the most secure, which is going to be SSH. Now, you can secure RDP, but SSH, when it comes to CompTIA, would most likely be the answer for this. So I'm going with SSH. Yep. Secure shell is commonly used for secure and encrypted connections to remote systems, including corporate networks. It provides strong encryption, authentication, and secure communication over an unsecured network. SSH is widely used for remote access to servers and network devices, ensuring the confidentiality and integrity of data during transaction. Question 12. An organization is implementing a DLP solution to prevent sensitive information from being leaked or disclosed inappropriately. The security team is considering different strategies to detect and block sensitive data transfers. Which of the following is a common method used in DLP solutions to inspect and control data transfers, preventing the unauthorized transmission of sensitive information? We have A, stateful firewall, not stateless, stateful. B, intrusion detection system. C, data masking. Or D, content inspection and filtering. All right. So out of the four here, let's go ahead and do process of elimination here. It's not going to be A. While some next generation firewall support DLP, doesn't specifically say next generation firewall, which is a security plus CompTIA tip there. It's not B. Intrusion detection systems monitor incoming traffic, and DLP is usually outgoing traffic. It's not C. Data masking is a way to hide data. So I'm going to have to go with D, content inspection and filtering. Yep. Content inspection and filtering is a common method used in DLP solutions. It involves analyzing the content of data transfers and applying policies to detect and block sensitive information from being transmitted inappropriately. DLP solutions often use content inspection to identify patterns, keywords, or data formats that match sensitive information, allowing organizations to prevent unauthorized data transfers. Question 13. A multinational corporation is implementing a secure communication strategy for its employees who frequently travel internationally. The organization wants to ensure that the sensitive data exchange between employees is protected, considering the potential risks of data interception during international travel. Which of the following cryptographic protocols is specifically designed for securing email communication and provides end-to-end encryption for emails sent between users? We have A, PGP, which is also pretty good privacy. That's what that stands for. We have B, IPsec, C, HMAC, or D, AES. All right, so let's take a look here. Out of the four here, if you know what each one of them are, it's a pretty easy one to get right. But the question specifically says which of these four options are designed for securing email communication and providing end-to-end encryption for emails sent between users. And out of all four of these, only one of them makes sense, and that's going to be PGP. It's the only one designed for securing email communication here. So I'm going with A. Yep. Pretty good privacy, also known as PGP, is a cryptographic protocol specifically designed for securing email communication. It provides end-to-end encryption for emails, ensuring that only the intended recipient can decrypt and read the content. PGP uses a combination of public key cryptography and symmetric key cryptography to achieve secure and private email communication. Question 14. A multinational corporation operates in various countries, each with its set of data protection laws and regulations. The organization is committed to ensuring compliance with these diverse data privacy requirements while managing the associated risks. Which of the following actions is most indicative of an organization demonstrating a mature governance, risk, and compliance, also known as GRC, approach in the context of multinational data privacy compliance? We have A, implementing a standardized set of security controls across all locations. B, appointing a data protection officer for each subsidiary. Or C, conducting regular risk assessments and tailoring compliance measures to local data protection laws. And finally, D, outsourcing data management to a third-party provider to simplify compliance efforts. Okay, so a lot of different countries have a lot of different data laws. They could all be different. Let's take a look here. Right off the bat, it's not going to be A. A lot of countries will have different rules and regulations for data privacy, so having a standard set of security controls across all locations just wouldn't work. It's not going to be B. Appointing a DPO for each place is going to be a bit of an overkill for this situation. It's not going to be D. Outsourcing could cause more problems than solve them, especially when they don't understand other country local laws. It could just cause a mess. So I'm going to go with C, conducting regular risk assessments and tailoring compliance measures to local data protection laws. Yep. A mature GRC approach involves understanding and addressing risks specific to the organization's operating environment. In the context of multinational data privacy compliance, conducting regular risk assessments and tailoring compliance measures to the unique requirements of each country demonstrates a comprehensive understanding of the regulatory landscape and a commitment to meeting diverse compliance obligations. That was a mouthful. Question 15. A software development company is developing a critical application that handles sensitive data, customer data. The organization is concerned about potential security threats and vulnerabilities that could compromise the confidentiality and integrity of the data. Which of the following represents a threat actor who exploits vulnerabilities in the software by injecting malicious code to manipulate the application's behavior and potentially compromise sensitive data? We have A, script kiddie, B, insider threat, C, advanced persistent threat, or D, buffer overflow attack. Okay, kind of an easy one here. The question states explicitly exploitation due to injecting malicious code to manipulate the application's behavior. And out of all of these options, there's only one exploit here, and that's going to be a buffer overflow attack. That's not script kiddie. That's a type of person, not an exploitation. It's not insider threat, same reason. And C, it's not APT because the same reason. So I'm going with D, buffer overflow attack. A buffer overflow attack occurs when a threat actor exploits vulnerabilities in software by injecting more data than a buffer or allocated space can handle, leading to the overflow of data into adjacent memory areas. This can result in the execution of malicious code, manipulation of the application's behavior, and potential compromise of sensitive data. Question 16. A financial institution is planning to implement a new security protocol to protect sensitive financial transactions. The organization requires a solution that ensures the integrity of transactions and provides non-repudiation. Which of the following cryptographic mechanisms would best address the institution's requirements for ensuring transaction integrity and non-repudiation in a financial system implementation? We have A, symmetric encryption, B, digital signatures, C, hash functions, or D, asymmetric encryption. Okay, encryption used to confuse me a lot. I struggled with it a lot, and you will be asked about, you'll have encryption questions on the Security Plus exam. Let's take a look here. I mean, out of the 4 possible answers, the correct answer is going to be the one that provides both integrity and non-repudiation. That's the key here. So with that said, you can rule out symmetric encryption and asymmetric encryption, as these only allow confidentiality. So that leaves us with digital signatures and hash functions. Hash functions provide integrity, but they don't provide non-repudiation. And digital signatures do both. So I'm going to go with that. I'm going with B. Yep. Digital signatures provide a mechanism for ensuring both the integrity of transactions and non-repudiation. They involve the use of asymmetric encryption, where a private key is used to sign the transaction data and a corresponding public key is used for verification. Digital signatures ensure that the data has not been altered and that the signature is unique to the signer, providing non-repudiation. Question 17. A multinational corporation has experienced a sophisticated cyber attack targeting its critical infrastructure. The incident response team is actively working to contain and mitigate the impact of the attack. The team has identified multiple compromised systems and is considering the best approach to eradicate the threat. Which of the following actions represent an appropriate and proactive step in the incident response process for eradicating the threat and preventing further compromise? We have A, isolating compromised systems from the network to prevent lateral movement. B, capturing volatile memory snapshots for forensic analysis. C, restoring affected systems from known good backups. Or D, conducting a threat intelligence analysis to identify the adversary's tactics. All right, so based on the scenario in the question, it looks like we are currently in the eradication step of incident response. So with that said, let's go ahead and look at each one and kind of see what phase that they're in, if they are even in a phase. So for A, isolating compromised systems to prevent lateral movement would be considered the containment phase, which is kind of part of the eradication, kind of not, but I'd say that's not it. For B, capturing volatile memory snapshots for forensic analysis is during the analysis phase, so it's not that. Storing affected systems from known good backups. Looks good. And then D, threat intelligence is also part of the analysis phase, so it's not that one. I'm going to go with C, restoring affected systems from known good backups. That's going to be part of the eradication, kind of get back to normal phase. So C. Yep. Restoring affected systems from known good backups is an essential step in eradicating the threat during incident response. It ensures that compromised systems are returned to a known secure state, effectively removing the malicious components introduced by the attacker. This approach helps prevent the persistence of threats and ensures the integrity of the systems. You know, real quick, it is important to understand the incident response phases. You will be asked that on the question, especially if you want to go for the CySA certification by CompTIA as well. A lot of questions are going to be on that, about the incident response phases. So it's a good idea to kind of understand them, memorize them, and just practice those. Question 18. A financial institution has discovered a sophisticated advanced persistent threat targeting its proprietary trading systems. The incident response team is engaged in analyzing the attack's tactics, techniques, and procedures to enhance defenses and prevent future APT activity. The team is specifically focused on understanding the APT's lateral movement within the network. Which of the following techniques is an advanced method used by threat actors to maintain persistence and move laterally within a network, making it challenging for incident responders to detect and mitigate the APT's activity? A, DDoS attacks to divert attention. B, zero-day exploit for server compromise. C, living off the land techniques. Or D, SQL injection attacks on web applications. All right. Which of the following techniques, advanced method used by threat actors to maintain persistence and move laterally within a network? Kind of an easy one here. Out of all these possible answers, only one of them makes sense when it comes to making it kind of hard to detect. And then, moving laterally within a network by gaining persistence. And that's going to be C, living off the land. Go with C. Yep. Living off the land techniques involves threat actors using legitimate built-in system tools and processes to carry out malicious activities. This method leverages existing functionalities, making it challenging for traditional security measures to detect abnormal behavior. Threat actors employing living off the land techniques aim to blend in with normal network activities, maintain persistence, and move laterally without raising suspicion. Question 19. A multinational corporation is enhancing its cybersecurity posture by implementing a robust framework to address emerging threats and vulnerabilities. As part of the governance, risk, and compliance strategy, the organization is focusing on proactive measures to protect sensitive data. Which of the following advanced security measures is a key element in the organization's GRC framework to mitigate the risk of targeted attacks and unauthorized access to sensitive data? A, implementing a threat intelligence sharing platform. B, conducting periodic security awareness workshops. C, deploying traditional antivirus software. Or D, performing routine vulnerability scan. Ruling out B and C. Yeah, conducting periodic security awareness and deploying traditional antivirus software. Ruling those out, they don't make sense for the scenario or the question. So that leaves us with A or D. It's a tough one. I'm leaning towards A because the scenario states emerging threats, and vulnerability scans don't usually support emerging threats. So that's why I'm going to go with A, but I could be wrong on this one. But I'm going to go with implementing a threat intelligence sharing platform. Ooh, all right. Implementing a threat intelligence sharing platform is a key element in a proactive GRC framework to mitigate the risk of targeted attacks and unauthorized access to sensitive data. Such a platform enables the organization to receive and share real-time threat intelligence, enhancing its ability to detect and respond to advanced threats. Question 20. Let's see if I can be 2-0 on these exams here. A financial institution is concerned about the rising threat of sophisticated cyber attacks targeting its online banking service. The organization is implementing advanced security measures to protect against different attack vectors. Which of the following attacks specifically targets the manipulation of communication between a user and a website to steal sensitive information such as login credentials? We have A, cross-site scripting. B, DDoS, denial of service attacks. C, man in the middle. Or D, SQL injection. So, based on the question in the scenario, only one of these are... Yeah, only one of these can manipulate traffic between a user and a website. So it's not going to be cross-site scripting because that attack is designed to run scripts on websites when a user visits it. It's not a DDoS attack. A flood of traffic isn't going to get login credentials. And it's not SQL injection. It doesn't interfere with communication. So that leaves us with C, man in the middle attack. Let's see if I got them all right. Nice. A man-in-the-middle attack involves an adversary intercepting and potentially altering the communication between two parties, often without their knowledge. In the context of online banking, this attack can be used to capture sensitive information such as login credentials by positioning the attacker between the user and the website. Well, that was it for week 2. Thank you all for watching if you're still watching here. I plan on doing Security Plus, trying to at least once a week, most likely Friday evenings at 6 p.m. CST time. That's my goal on this. It all just depends on if my friend can make a new PowerPoint or not for me, but if he can, I will definitely upload it. Let me know in the comments if you want other, exams covered. I have quite a few CompTIA exams. You can see which ones I have passed on the very first week of Security Plus. I kind of list what I have there in the first 2 minutes. But thank you all for watching. And if you have any questions, please ask them in the comments. I respond. So take it easy.